Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are now looking at Meta, and Meta closed at 590.64. What's interesting, and we were down here at this 586 area, bounced off of there. You see we had that level mark, bounced from there only to move back to the upside. Looks as if as of now pre-market our support is around 599.71. Resistance is around the 601.57. However, you see that 50 EMA is, kind of like stopping us from reaching that 601.57 area. So I always say, where are the trouble places, right? So beyond the 601.57, we have 604.02, which is not far from that ATR trail, and stop at the 604.32. I like to see that, right? So if by chance we break this area 604.32, we could possibly have trouble again around the 605.87 area, and it's just where price was in this area here. Now, if we should break this level or that level, 608.32 could be a rejection area or resistance area. And if we should break that 200 EMA as of now is at the 609.50. Breaking that 609.50, we can come back to this area here around the 612.93. And if we should break that level, 614.55. Breaking the 614.55, we could possibly have trouble again, 617.61. So if you're trading Meta today, these are areas to the upside or our resistance areas. Let's say that. Now back to the downside. If by chance we break under, let's say under this 608 or 598, let me get it right. Yeah, so if we break under 598.60, we could possibly come down and find support at 596.95 or 596.85. That is a support area for us. Breaking that level, 594.29, and if we should break that, 592.98. And as you can see, there's a few layers of support in this area. I would definitely watch around the 590.81, and if we should break that level for Meta, 589.08 could be an area of support for us. Now breaking that 589.08 area, we could very well come back and retest the 587.05. So if you're trading Meta today, these are areas that I would watch as support and resistance. Again, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my trouble places are. So we are now looking at AMD. We closed at $98.11. And as you can see, we have been trading in this zone here. It looks like we tried to go up only to get rejected to come back in our zone. Support is as of now $99.27. And if we should, our resistance is around $99.52. Breaking that brings us back to, we could possibly have trouble around $99.73. And if we should break that $99.73 area, we could very well come back to $99.93. And as you can see, it's just kind of like where the body of these candles are, around the $99.93 area. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble at $100.14. I'm not sure, but for some reason I always remember that for AMD, $100.14. And if we should break that, the ATR trail and stop as of now is at $100.30. And if we should break that, we could possibly have trouble at $100.45. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this level, 99.27. we could possibly come back to 99.08, and that puts us under the 50 EMA. So we definitely need to watch that 99.08. And if we should break that, 98.96 is our 200 EMA as of now. That is a support area. If we should break that 99.08 area, 98.96, and breaking that, we can very well come back to 98.66. And if we should break the 98.66 for AMD, we can come back to around 98.37. Breaking the 98.37 brings us back to 98.07. That's where the body of these candles are here, around the 98.07. Breaking that, we could possibly have support again at 97.68. And if we should lose the 97.68, 97.49 could be a support area for us. Now, Again, y'all know I say so often, in the market anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Let's look at the SPY today just to see where we are. And yes, my SPY charts are always congested because that is something that I trade daily. So, and again, I want to know where the trouble places are, or possible trouble places, let's say that. So we closed at 551.42, and as you can see here, price was gathered in this area around this 555.61. So we are up a little pre-market. Interesting, huh? So where are the trouble places? As you can see here, 556.34 is a resistance area for us. Breaking that brings us back to the 556.79, which we've already tried to test that area before. This time we could very well break through it. So 556.59, there's a few layers beyond. Let's say if we break through that level, 557.18, and there from 557.18 up to the 557.50. So I would watch the 557.50, and if we break that level, just know that 555.97 could be a trouble place. Breaking that brings us back to the ATR trailing stop, as of now. It is around the 558.39. Now breaking that 558.39, as we see here, there's another few layers of support for the SPY. So let's say breaking that 558.39 area, we can come back to 559, let's say the 559, because it was 558.94. We'll say the 559, and if we should break that, let's just move to the 559.52, and we could possibly have trouble in those areas. Now back to the downside, as you can see, there is a few layers of support here for the SPY. We have the 5 EMA, the 50 EMA, the 20 EMA. Those moving averages can be used as support. And what's interesting is that 555.45, there's a few moving averages right at that place. So definitely need to watch the SPY at that 555.45 area. Breaking that 555.11, if we should break that level, we could possibly come back to this area, 554.16. Breaking that level, we can come back to 553.68, and as you can see, there's a few layers of support there. If we should lose that area, 553.29 could very well be a support place. And if we should break that level, 552.87, breaking that brings us back down to the 552.16. And if we should lose that, 551.69 or 551.73 could be a support place for the SPY. Now breaking that level, we could very well come back to the 551.12, and breaking that, 550.70. What's interesting is breaking that 550.70, because at 550 I think we was there for a while before, and if we should lose that area, we can come back to 550.18. So I would definitely say it's watching the SPY under 550, because yesterday making this 549.68, there was a quick bounce from there. So, and we never came, we got close, but we didn't come back to that area. So if you are trading the SPY today, those are areas to the upside and to the downside. Y'all know I say so often, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Now we are looking at Tesla, and I say so often, Tesla does what it does, right? So it looks as if we made a low of 232.60 and bounce from there. We close at 240.68 with Tesla, and we are up pre-market. So looks like we're trying to get back to the upside. You see that 200 EMA right now is our trouble place, or was our trouble place, where we're having issues in that area. So I would definitely watch. We have a lot of buyers and sellers, like a tug of war right here, so we have to be careful where the trouble places for Tesla. As of now, 245.72, and if we should break that, we could possibly have trouble. 246.55, although there is a few layers of support resistance here, so I would definitely watch above the 246.55. Breaking that level, we can come back to where the ATR trailing stop is, 248.22, which y'all see I have 248.35, not far away. So if we should break that area, just know 249.05, again at 249.65, and 251.07. Breaking that brings us back to 250.215. Seeing Tesla at that 252 area is interesting. 252. If we should break that 252.16 area, or 252.15 area, 253.84 could be a trouble place for us. So if you're trading Tesla today, those are areas to the upside that we could possibly have trouble. Now back to the downside. Let's say we get under 243.83, and then coming back under the 242.66, because it kind of like puts us in a zone, or trading zone, in my opinion. The 242.66, we could possibly losing that area of support. We could possibly have support again here at 241.85, and if we should break that, price was back in this area here, we could possibly have trouble again or support at 240.72, and if we should break that level, we could possibly find support at 239.49, breaking that level 238.27, and if we should break that level 236.39, breaking that brings us back to the 234.57, which is here. So it would not surprise me, in my opinion, to see us back in this area for Tesla. And I just say it so often, y'all, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So if you're trading Tesla today, I say trade carefully, and for some reason I did not add NVDA to my chart. Let me go ahead and get that now. So we are now looking at NVDA. We closed at 115.58, and y'all see we are up pre-market 118.49. And I always say, where are our trouble places? As of now, we were trading in this zone. That support was at this area of 117.60, and resistance was around the 117.86. That was a little small zone that we were trading in. It broke past that, only to, broke past the 118.70, 118.16. It was our support. It is now our resistance. Let's say that. Where are the trouble places to the upside? 118.49 or 118.53 could be a trouble place. That's kind of like where we are now. And if we break that level, 119.17 could be a trouble place. Breaking that brings us back to 119.78. If we break that 119.78, we could possibly have trouble at 120.24. As you can see, y'all, there's a few layers here of resistance that could possibly stop us out, but we just need to possibly remember that 120.24 area. Breaking that brings us back to 120.62. If we should break that 120.62 area, just know there's a few layers of resistance there. 120.87. If we should break that, 121.45 could be a trouble place. Now back to the downside. Let's say we get under this level that was our support here at 117.59. Breaking that brings us back to 117.22. Breaking that, 117.01. So we definitely need to watch NVIDIA under this 117 area. If by chance we break that, we have an ATR trail and stop forming right where this 50 EMA is. So we definitely need to watch the 116.67. In my opinion, that will be a strong support area for NVIDIA and breaking as of now. And if we should break that level, we have a few layers of support down at 116.25. Breaking that, 115.97. Again at 115.55. Breaking that brings us back to the 114.49. And if we should break that, we have the 200 EMA as of now, 114.15. Breaking that brings us back to a previous support or resistance area that I have marked at 113.77. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, those are areas to the upside and to the downside. And y'all know I say so often, anything is possible. Now we do have a few inside day candles, and Oracle is one of those. And y'all, I like to give the trigger, meaning if it break above this area, this is our target, or if it should break under this area, this is our possible target. Now ORCL is that inside day candle. So above 150.24 gives us an upside target, 152.30. To the downside, under 145.27 gives us 144.97 as a target for ORCL. We normally move about $7.80 per day, right? So that's something to be mindful of. If you trade ORCL, it is an inside day candle. And y'all, I'm going to say it again, trade carefully. This is an interesting market. Bank of America, BAC, is also an inside day candle today. If by chance we break above $40.23, we have $40.51 as the target. Under $39.27, downside target $39.16. Bank of America is an inside day candle. It normally moves about $1.47 per day. And that's interesting to see. I was looking at the daily chart, how we're just gathering here. It's like immediately my eye goes to this gathering spot. We know that on this daily chart for Bank of America, that $40.27 is a resistance area for us. So if we break that, we could possibly continue to, be moving to the upside. That will be interesting to watch. So if by chance you trade Bank of America or BAC, it is an inside day candle. So I say it again, y'all trade carefully. So these are, when I look at the market, this is what I see, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging sometimes is trying to find the strategy that works best for you. I hope these videos are very, very helpful. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that, because y'all, we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.